Our MTX approach is harming RuneScape, and it's time that we took action. The era of a tainted RuneScape 3 is coming to an end.
Holy! Jagex just dropped an absolute bombshell. Microtransactions, or MTX for short, are finally changing in RuneScape 3 starting next month, which is only in a few days, with the removal of Treasure Hunter for the entirety of July, and replacing it with direct purchasable, limited amounts of prismatic stars and knowledge bombs. But that's not all. During August's double XP, you won't be able to use your protein/dummies, and in September, we will get direct cosmetic purchases, including previously featured Treasure Hunter exclusive rewards and cosmetic free worlds on top of that will run for a longer amount of time. For the perceptive people watching, yes, I said during the month, as Jagex will be running tests/experiments to gather data to permanently change MTX within RuneScape and create a more sustainable future for the game. So that means that after the test is over, everything will revert back to a baseline before they make a permanent change. In this video, I'll explain everything you need to know, so leave a like if you're excited about these changes, subscribe if you're new, as I will be covering all of these, and we are still trying to get to 10k subscribers by the end of the year. And without further ado, my name's Chevalric, and let's talk about it. So what is exactly going on? Jagex have just announced that they want and are going to improve RuneScape's game health, and one of the major problems within the game are the microtransactions and mainly how they work, aka Treasure Hunter. They also mentioned how they want to tackle other changes like giving a clear identity to the game, improving game design, and further improving player feedback. These latter changes are not detailed in this blog/the video they uploaded, but it's good to see that they're not just looking at it from a one-dimensional angle. So how is this going to work? Jagex will be running month-long experiments where they test certain features to gather data. Once the test is over, everything will revert back to the baseline, so what it was like before the test, until they make a final decision, which they will communicate with us first, ask feedback on, before they actually implement it. The goal of these tests is to find the right alternative strategy to Treasure Hunter by gathering relevant data. I'll go into a bit more detail later, but obviously they can't just remove Treasure Hunter in one go, without having data on what to replace it with. Because however you put it, RuneScape 3 is, and probably always will be, dependent on MTX to a certain extent. But I do think we can all agree that Treasure Hunter is very unhealthy and that there are better ways to monetize the game. One thing I ask as a creator, whether you do this in my comment section or on social media, is to give proper feedback to Jagex. Not all of these experiments will be a hit, so give them feedback on why you think that is. So explain why you don't like something and not just say it's shit. This way, Jagex can actually give us what we really want. Sure, promises have been made before and not kept, but clearly us complaining about it for years has had an impact to the extent they're openly addressing the issues now and are willing to change. Plus, from a PR perspective as well, you can't really go back on it now. Jagex put this out into the world, so they kind of have to stick with it, otherwise this is the end of player trust forever. So what's happening? In July, Jagex will be starting off with the big one, the removal of Treasure Hunter during the entirety of the month. This means no daily keys, no purchasable keys, nothing. It will simply not exist during the month of July. They'll replace this with direct star/knowledge bomb purchases, the latter giving a flat 50% XP increase for an hour, that you can buy a limited amount of each day. Disclaimer, after July, Treasure Hunter will return till a final decision is made. This is just to gather data on the effect of it, what the deficit will be in the profit, and what gaps they might have to fill. At least that's how I interpret it. And also on top of that, they want to get rid of selling direct experience and giving you a way to earn it quicker by investing money into the game, but still actually having to play the game instead of just lamping up your level. I will actually be covering all of these experiments in respective videos when they are being ran and giving my personal feedback. So I'll keep it a bit shorter in this one to not make it a 25-minute long video. I think that seeing what will happen when you turn off Treasure Hunter is actually fascinating. But I do also think that it will kind of give you slightly skewed data when there aren't any good alternatives. For example, I am so down to directly buy cosmetic overrides like Azure Dragon Breath, but am not interested in bonus XP stars or knowledge bombs. But then again, you will also gather data on the amount of players who actually are. So we kinda just have to wait and see. In August, we will be seeing another double experience event, but this time without the ability to use proteins and dummies. That means that during the week of double XP, you simply can't use your items. But in case they do decide to permanently remove them, they will allow you to use them up, as this has something to do with legalities. They allowed you to spend money to gain these proteins and dummies, so they're also required by law to allow you to use whatever you spent your money on, in this case proteins and dummies. So don't worry, if you've stocked up thousands of them, eventually, probably the double XP after, or however long it might take for them to make the decision, you will be able to use them up. This experiment especially will most likely be to gather data on what the effects of something like this are on regular skilling supplies as methods during double experience. And I think this will actually be a great change, as proteins make it so that a lot of skilling supplies are just irrelevant because you have proteins. I also would have loved to see the removal of portable skilling during this event, as I do think it takes away from the gameplay experience, as it pretty much makes you skill at one location, the fort, but hey, maybe that's another experiment they will run in the future. In September, they're going to be allowing you to directly purchase cosmetics with IRL money that used to be treasure hunter exclusives. Personally, I'm actually really excited about this one, as I don't really have a problem with cosmetics in the game. Sure, I'd prefer all cosmetics to be earnable, but then again, if this is the middle ground of microtransactions in the game, I'm all for it. I would have loved to get the Witch Walk override they recently released, so I can ride my FSOA into the sunset, but I'm not going to gamble for it. But I would have been down to drop a couple of dollars on it, well, probably like $15 on it, but I couldn't. But maybe in September, I'll be able to. Speaking of cosmetics, they will also be running cosmetic free worlds for an extended amount of time, where overrides are all disabled, at least that's what I'm assuming, which is to test what players think about this. Honestly, this one is a bit of an iffy one for me. I would have preferred to have a world where you can only have cosmetics that are earnable in game. So for example, if you have a Blood Dye Serenic set override or Comp Cape or whatever it might be, that you can show it off, but no wings or treasure hunter or event related items. I'm assuming that this test will be to see if in the future there could be toggles for people who are bothered by cosmetics and want to simply not see them. I personally like a toggle for the treasure hunter / event type of cosmetics to be turned off, but keeping the in-game earnables on, but we'll kinda have to wait and see. And that really is it for now. Honestly, if they follow through with all of this, this could be a monumental shift for RuneScape in the right direction. And we as a community need to hold them accountable in a respectful way by giving them proper feedback. So no, I don't like it. No, tell them why you don't like it so they can actually do something about it. This is not going to be an overnight change. This will take time, and we also need to allow them that time. Whether you like it or not, RuneScape, and any game for that matter, is a business, and people need to get paid. Simply cutting out the main source of income and hoping something will work is just not sustainable. So them gathering data to figure out what the alternative could be is probably the smartest move. So yet again, not all of these experiments might work, so let them know when that is the case. And one final thing for the skeptics, which I fully understand by the way, because I'm kind of skeptical myself as well. This probably will also not be a ploy of, oh, we just give extra MTX now because we see XYZ is working, or profits were down during Treasure Hunt removal, so Treasure Hunter is actually good. No, they obviously understand that this will be the case, and they even said it in the blog that they know Treasure Hunter is one of the main issues. So that also makes it that there is no going back. They know if they fuck this one up now, it's over. And not just over for a time period, no, it's over forever. Like, the players will never, ever trust Jagex anymore, and the game could probably die because of it. And by the sounds of it, that's not really what they want, so we'll kind of just have to wait and see. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, leave a like if you did enjoy this breakdown, and subscribe to stay up to date with all the changes happening around MTX. My name's Chevalric, I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.